All right, guys. Welcome back to the Sayin Society. You have myself, Jochik and Jagad. Justman couldn't be here today, so we're going to do this one without him. And this is our weekly anime and manga discussion.
53.
Episode 53. Yeah, I don't know. I've been losing track of these. So we're going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen manga, Jujutsu Kaisen anime, One Piece manga, One Piece anime.
And then Bleach Anime.
Oh, and then Bleach. And then also the new
one.
KAGURABACHI as well, because there's been a lot of hype around it. All right, so to start things off, we're going to talk about One Piece anime.
Sure.
Not really much to say. Luffy defeated Kaido finally.
That was the whole episode, though.
Yeah, that was the whole
Like,
episode.
it took forever for him to actually beat Kaido.
Yeah.
And, like the rest of the Gear 5 episodes were actually really nice. Like, all the Gear 5 moments were getting. But this whole episode was just, like, his punch. In terms of, like, his fight with Kaido. Like, everything else was, like, the ending of the war. Everyone, like,
I feel like
believing in him.
Because we know, because of when we read the manga and stuff, if they had finished the punch too quickly, the episode would have escalated or, like, gone into, like, the whatever comes next, and that would have been too much to put into one episode. So then they'd rather... I feel like they're going to have their own... This is what's going to happen, bro. We know what's happening next, right?
But there's a couple events. There's going to be a whole filler episode.
Two.
They're going to, like...
Well, yeah, one for sure. For sure, like, one full filler episode. They're going to have, like, whatever winding down. Then they're going to have the 2, 3, 4 events that happen, and they're going to have one event per episode. They're not going to...
Maybe.
Because we know how it was, like, all in one thing in the manga? Yeah.
But still, like, they're still going to have that, like, whole wind down episode of them, like, partying and, like, you know... You know how, like, typical One Piece arcs happen, like, end, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, the episode was okay.
Yeah. All right, so getting into the manga. Was it chapter 1094? 1095? I have no idea.
4.
4?
No, 1093.
1093?
It's 1093.
1094, no?
It's 1093.
You sure?
Yeah, because I was having a whole conversation about this chapter.
Okay. I mean, sure, I was too.
Yeah.
But, like, how do I give you credibility of, like, I don't remember?
No, that's why I remember, because I kept having to go back and reference the chapter.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
so, we see Gear 5 Luffy just throw the shit out of Kizaru.
Wait. That's not... Oh, wait. I thought it ended there.
What do you mean it ended there?
Didn't it? Oh, wait. No, that was a chapter before. Okay, no, I know what you're saying. now. I remember the chapter, yeah. So it's 1090... It is 1090.
1094.
Yeah, okay.
But I thought you had a conversation about it.
I did.
Where did?
But that was last week.
Anyways,
it was last week.
So Gear 5 Luffy throws the shit out of Kizaru, right? And from Kizaru's dialogue, he's like, no, don't do it.
He's like,
he literally does not.
I might just fall into the water.
He's like, yo, I don't get, like, he just, like, zero fucks given, bro.
Yeah.
And it's kind of...
I guess I should use my move to get out of this situation.
No, but it's just, like, it's
That's
wild.
Just how he is.
But it's wild how, like, nonchalant he is to, like, facing off against Luffy in Gear 5. Like, it almost...
It's not that. It's how nonchalant he was from, like...
Everything...
like falling into the water.
But, no, just...
Which is, like, that's fine.
No, I feel like it's everything. Like, Luffy's even swinging him everything. Like, I feel
guess
like
so, yeah.
it kind of... I know it's his character, but it almost feels like, yo, you ain't shit. To, like, Luffy. Kind of the way he is, like, his persona is almost like, yo, like, it doesn't matter what you do because I know I'm gonna win type deal. You know what I mean?
Maybe. And, like, he has one of the strongest fruits too, if you think about it.
I would say the strongest.
Like, the power of light is pretty fucking strong, right?
I'm gonna say he has the strongest Logia Devil Fruit.
Yeah, probably.
No, because okay, so you know how he gets thrown into the water?
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Mid-air,
sense.
You can just dip.
It doesn't make sense because
Why?
like, explain this to me in other Logias, right? What he did was he
launched an attack.
He launched an attack.
And then he switched, like, he became the light that was over
there.
That
was the attack.
Yeah.
So that means, like, we should theoretically see other Logias do the same thing.
That.
Like, you know, like, for example, like Ace shoot fire and then become the fire that he shot. Right?
Yeah.
So right now what Kizaru's doing is something we've never seen Logias do before.
It's kind of the difference with him, though.
Yeah.
Maybe this is where it's going, is that light's always all around us.
Okay.
Where it might be easier for him to be able to do that.
I think it has more to do with him, like, the properties of light, how it's both a wave and a particle, right? Is that the right terminology? Yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think that's why. Because even after
to be able to do it that fast, because if say it was fire, he wouldn't necessarily be able to do it that fast, like mid-throw, mid-falling into the water.
But the thing is,
nobody's going to be able to react that fast. He's able to do it because he's like...
I mean,
right?
I feel like with someone who's like fire, they would just propel themselves out, like they.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying.
Like on some,
you have other Logias like
shit, but
they can try to like propel themselves with their Logia fruit.
Yeah,
but like they don't have that same reaction speed.
Like
that
the speed.
Kizaru
So
does.
you think you think every Logia can do it? It's just because of Kizaru's speed that he's able to successfully pull it off.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And then the other thing is when he shot his attack, he then split himself. Like he became each one of his light particles.
Yeah, like he had like copycats or whatever, like shadow clone jutsu essentially.
No, but and they're all like him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so
we don't know if they're like as strong as him, but they were capable.
They were capable because they weren't like just getting murked out, right? Like I mean, Luffy,
they did.
Luffy does like he stomps through them.
Yeah.
Right, but it looks
and they like evaporate and like go away type of thing.
But the thing is, this is what doesn't make sense: is when does Kizaru at what point does Kizaru pull up on Usopp?
Yeah, like when did he? Yeah.
At what point in the fight did he?
I think as soon as he made the 6, in that confusion, he just because like
I think it's before then.
No, because in that 6. I had this conversation where, Luffy in Gear 5, he's so free, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why Gear 5 works so well against Kaido is because Kaido was down for the fight. Like, he was just down to, like, whatever Luffy was doing, he was just down to just be there and fight.
Yeah.
Kizaru has a mission.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care about, like, wasting time and being there with Luffy. So,
100%.
when Luffy's, like, goofing off, like, you saw him running away from the 6 clones and then turning around, like, just kidding, and he stomps them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him like goofing off and doing that's time that Kizaru can use to just go and like fulfill his mission. So I think that's when he split off.
Because I was trying to look for it, right? I was trying to see.
Yeah, they don't. It doesn't really show it.
It doesn't show it at all. So a lot of people were saying that he had split before he even pulled up. Like before he got grabbed. That's when he had split. He had split prior to getting grabbed.
But that's just them saying something. How are they saying that? Like,
just because of how he was like able to pull up on Usopp. Because they're like, how was he there?
I think it makes more sense. Because like, how did that go beyond Luffy? Like, how did Luffy just not even see him, like grab Usopp if it happened that early?
No,
you know what I mean?
saying he split that early and then he capitalized on the moment now. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying he went and like hit himself?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Or like they split and he was like, "Yo, let's see."
No,
I think
Luffy did really grab him
with my clone, and then you know what I mean.
Because Luffy kind of came out of nowhere with Gear 5.
No, he did.
Kizaru's first interaction with Gear 5.
Yeah, that's true.
It makes sense that Luffy was able to grab him like that.
Yeah.
And then I think it's when he did the 6 clones and Luffy was running away that he just capitalized on that moment and just did it there. Because Gear 5 Luffy is pretty strong.
No, he is.
Right.
We did see how like Vegapunk is risking his life to save Bonnie, and he specifically says, and I don't think we get this a lot in One Piece dialogue, and granted this is not official translations, but he's like, I refuse to let a little girl be murdered.
Okay.
And very rarely do we get like terms of like certain death like that in One Piece, like, yo, this person's gonna get murdered. You know what I mean? And it could be because it's not official translations.
Yeah.
But like that stuck out to me, and I was like, okay, like.
I think it's like more or less confirmed now that she is a little girl. Like she's younger than like.
We think she is like the whole Bonnie theory that I've been saying. I think that's coming into fruition and stuff.
Hopefully.
But like the thing is with, them, like they're playing it up a lot now, right? And I think that she will die now.
Really?
Yeah, like it's, cause even when, like,
what do you think she's gonna die as soon as Kuma like starts regaining his memories or something, or what?
No. It's gonna be like a kind of like, so like again, people have been saying Luffy hasn't taken an L yet.
Yeah.
It would be so like kind of an L where he failed to save Bonnie and like the Gorosei killed her. You know what I mean? Like he's just waiting outside the island.
I mean,
or even Blackbeard, for example. Like one of them. Like I'm not saying Kizaru or whatever is gonna be the one to kill her, but I think her like it's a death flag coming up. And it's interesting now that we see that the Pacifista have like switched up. They're now with the Vegapunks.
Her fruit is kind of hard to judge. Like I don't know if I see her dying.
No, it's very. I think she's very so broken. It is.
Yeah, like she's so capable of escaping that.
She is, and
I don't really see her dying like that.
Like Sentomaru like caught her as she fell. So he also knows her.
Yo, Sentomaru's the man.
He's a G. But but he's also known her for like I don't know Mad Long or we don't know, right? Like timeline skewed and stuff, right? So it's kind of interesting to see how like all the shit's going down all the while Saren just waiting outside just to fucking pop off, you know?
Yeah.
And then we have Blackbeard pirates and everything, right?
Yeah, that's true. We don't know where it's still gonna end.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, who do you think the antagonist of this arc is? Do you think it's Kizaru, Saturn, or Blackbeard pirates?
Okay, I think it's Saturn.
Yeah.
Right? Like Kizaru's just following his mission, doing his orders, like he's, like the loyal dog of the Marines. I think it's definitely Saturn, but it's gonna get like it's like it's a pump fake or a pump fake, right?
Yeah.
Like we think it's Saturn, and then it's gonna be like with Blackbeard somehow. Because I feel like most people from the fandom have forgot that the Blackbeard pirates are even at Egghead, because there was one panel with one flag. That's it.
That's the only thing they had showing
literally months ago, and only like us on our podcast or people we talked to,
we've been repeating
podcasts, we've been like, yo, they're there, like you know, like pay attention to this and stuff, right? But I feel like other people have like completely forgot or like dismissed it, right?
Okay. Well, like Mr. Moore just talking about how
who
is a YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
So he's talking about how he just kind of talked about Kizaru's internal struggle.
Yeah.
How we haven't really seen that in One Piece yet.
No.
Where like anyone that Luffy really fights, they believe in their mission, their goal, like whatever it is.
Yeah,
they're like fully committed to whatever they like. Anyone that Luffy fights, it's like, any antagonist that he fights is just fully like they believe in that. They're not really mixed feelings or anything. Where you see Kizaru kind of like, he hates that he has to do it, but he's still complying. So it's like we don't even know if Kizaru's gonna still side with the Marines at the end of this arc.
That's fair.
Because he could go either way.
No, and like maybe that's why it's called Egghead Incident.
Yeah.
Because it caused Kizaru to like maybe leave the Marines, or like you know what I mean?
Like there's gonna be worldly repercussions.
We know for sure because of how it's been narrated and stuff, right?
The other thing was they show Lucci versus Zoro.
Oh yeah.
How are you gonna forget this? That's crazy.
Because it was just so like Zoro got it.
No, well, I mean, if you look at the fight, it looks like a pretty good matchup.
It looks like
it isn't like like Zoro's not like necessarily struggling, but it doesn't look like it's a cakewalk for him either.
No. It's kind of like a back and forth.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
And like this would be a really cool fight just for because Zoro just during the King fight, he just started honing down his Conquerors
Haki. Yeah.
So like this would be really cool to see how Zoro fights like with his Conquerors now.
Yeah.
And then also the way I was thinking was like, obviously we've been on the same kind of train of like Rob Lucci been there in a 3-piece suit for so long. Like why is he there just for him to get dusted by Luffy?
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen now is we're gonna start seeing him grow. And like when he fought Luffy, he couldn't understand like why Luffy was doing so much damage to him. Like if you go back and you read that chapter, he's like, why is he hitting me so hard? Like he's shook that he's getting hit so hard.
Yeah.
And like people are also like rattled that Luffy went Gear 5
on Lucci like
that, right?
Yeah.
And then so I think Lucci's gonna start tapping into Conquerors.
Oh yeah.
And I think him fighting Zoro, he's gonna start learning how to apply Conquerors the way Zoro does it. Because like just as an extension of himself.
Right.
So then that could be a really cool fight where we're seeing Lucci grow mid fight.
So do you think he's gonna like beat Zoro with this progression?
No, I think Zoro will beat him.
You think he loses and he comes back in a later arc fully progressed?
No, I think
what's the point of showing his progression just to have him be defeated now?
Because it's gonna normally like they fight somebody and the Straw Hat crew is the one that's progressing mid fight.
Right.
This time it's gonna be like Zoro's like at this level and Lucci's gonna progress mid fight
to his level.
To like close to his level. Okay. And then Zoro's gonna have to like he's gonna be like actually bleeding and getting hurt.
What I would love to see is that like because Rob Lucci's a panther or cougar or leopard. He's a leopard, right? And he's kind of like a beast, like animal type person. What I'm trying to get at is that I would love to see Zoro defeat him.
Yeah.
With his
one of those animal attacks.
His lion strike.
Okay.
Like, nah, I'm the fucking king of the jungle type shit. You know what I mean? That would be fucking wild. Zoro pulls up with the she son. Just fucks him up, you know?
I guess so. He's one of his named attacks, man. Yeah, you know what? Zoro needs to bring back his gorilla one, man. Where his bicep becomes like triple the size. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Yeah.
He only used it like once or twice, I feel like.
Yeah, he didn't use it too
often.
He
used it in Water 7, and then he used it again in Thriller Bark, I'm pretty sure. And
yeah, I know he for sure used it in Thriller
I'm not
Bark,
sure if he used it in Fisherman Island because I don't remember that arc.
No, I don't think he used it post time skip. I don't remember ever seeing it post time skip.
Yeah. But like it would be a good callback because it would. Rob Lucci guys and everything.
Yeah. But I think like this fight with Lucci, it's gonna show the difference between Zoro and Gear 5 essentially.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
like we know Zoro's stronger than Gear 4. We just don't really know
where he like lines up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people were kind of mad about the fact that like Rob Lucci was like, yo, Luffy, you're not.
He's not an emperor, and now he's like, at least I can take out the second best.
Like he fucking just got his shit rocked and he got humbled so quick.
But that makes sense. Because he's like, when he fought Luffy, like everyone knows, like Luffy only really beat him because of like plot armor, right?
Oh yeah, the first time.
He barely beat him. Right?
That was for sure plot.
So
armor.
like from Lucci's perspective, it's like how much could he have grown in that time?
That's true.
So like,
and it's like, what have you been doing? Not progressing that much.
Yeah, that's
true. Like, come on, man.
I mean, he got his awakening.
He did. But whatever. Anyways,
there's another issue that the One Piece community has been having, which is, when do you know when Conquerors is being applied or not?
That's true.
And like,
you don't.
I think you do though.
It's the Black Lightning. In the manga, it's hard to tell, right? In the anime, it's very prevalent.
I think it's also clear in the manga though, because like, I had to go all the way back to Wano and reread everything.
Crazy, I should all the way back to Wano.
Like beginning of Wano.
Like,
Wano's long as shit.
Arc.
Actually, I mean to be fair, okay, no, I went back to the Shanks and Whitebeard clash.
Right. Okay, that's all the way back.
like I went to like sections of like when you knew Conquerors were happening and like whatever,
to see how it's portrayed,
like to compare how it's portrayed, right? And like, because some people were saying the sound effects are what show you when Conquerors is being applied.
Oh, maybe.
So if you look at some of the sound effects, like, I don't know, they start with like a Z, and then like it's almost like the sound effects are like lightning type of sound effects, right?
Yeah.
And some of them are similar, and that's a way you can say that, oh, okay, there's got to be Conquerors. So when you look at Roger versus Whitebeard, when he's like charging up and stuff, you can see that like the sound effects and the lightning and stuff, right? Because sometimes you can see the lightning and people think it's just armament, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's on a scale. Like the more potent your Conquerors is, like behind your attack, that's when you'll start hearing the sound effects in the manga.
Okay.
And I think that's what Oda's been showing, because like, when Luffy fought Lucci, they have the lightning and stuff, so it's like, and it makes sense if he's using Conquerors, like it's fine, because like, I mean like Haki doesn't like, I don't think it's draining Luffy too much, and like, I don't know if you've seen Gear 5 Luffy like without using Conquerors. Is that not together? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like, how was Luffy able to grab Kizaru? Like, was he not
applying?
applying?
Was burning, right? Remember we were talking about this. So because his hand was burning, that means he wasn't using Conquerors. Like he was just using his Devil Fruit, or he was like.
But that's what I mean. Like, would his Devil Fruit be able to override Kizaru's light? Himself? Because like it makes sense for it to override like different sections of light. That's not Kizaru himself,
right?
But for him to actually hold him, like he's got to be using like a certain level of Haki, right?
Him saying that his hand is burning. It
could still burn,
like, but it could be just
with
like
Conquerors.
He could just be joking, like, oh yeah, like,
yeah, of course,
burning. Like, you never know, right?
Yeah.
And
then I think it's just the lightning itself shows some level of Conquerors, and then when you look at the thing is, now you have to go back and look at other people using Conquerors that might be Conquerors, and I remember like Ulti when she clashed with Luffy. Everyone thought that she had a Conquerors. I think she might have had some level of Conquerors.
I even thought when Jimby, like in the manga when he fought against Who's Who, I thought he had Conquerors then too because of like the lighting and everything too.
I looked at that.
Yeah.
It looks like it's lightning, but it's actually like clouds, in the way that it's formed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. It's more like clouds.
Okay.
And even then, like, Jimby using Conquerors, it kind of makes sense though.
No,
at the same time,
that's what I mean. Like I didn't even doubt it. I was like, oh yeah, like that makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
like,
but he does, like, as of right now, he doesn't have Conquerors. Like
like nobody's like said anything, right? Like nobody stated it,
or hasn't been shown. Yeah, I guess.
Like if we take like his show like that, like he did use Conquerors out like in that fight. He's like what 40, 50, 60 years old or something. He's old as shit.
Yeah, but he's a fisherman, so they're
no. But like what I mean is that like he's had time to like develop his Haki.
Right.
And like the reason why we haven't seen it prior to this is because he kind of like bowed his head down to beg mom. Yeah. Which aren't really characteristics of somebody who is a conqueror.
Yeah.
And then when he joined Luffy's crew was when he was actually like himself. Like when he actually
go ahead. Yeah.
Like when he actually like, you know, was embodying like basically like living for this person and everything, right?
Well, like being his truest self.
Yeah.
And that's like everyone in Luffy's crew. So like, going off of that, you think everyone in Luffy's crew is gonna get Conquerors?
I don't know if they'll get not everyone. I don't know if everyone can get Conquerors, but I think like
I mean, because everyone's still pursuing their dreams.
I think it's safe to say, because conquer is like your willpower,
Mm-hmm.
that like there can be moments where when you feel so strongly about something that like your hockey can just like it can just come out like that.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't mean like you have conquerors, like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like with Kobe, when he did his impact thing, like his
Right.
I forgot the name of the impact, but like
Yeah.
he has like those lightning coming out of it.
Yeah, he does.
So it's either like, is that armament or is that conquers?
But it would make sense.
I feel like with Kobe it makes sense if he was like tapping in conquers without even knowing he was tapping into
with
it.
Kobe it makes sense because of how his character's been built up,
And
as
Garp
like,
being the one training
exactly,
him.
and he's supposed to be kind of like the other side of Luffy, like almost, right?
Like, you know, he's gonna become the fleet admiral. Like, it makes sense if he has
gonna
conquerors.
have conquerors. Yeah, I mean, but like
right.
even then, like we've talked about this before, most Marines don't have conquerors. Like Garp's like the exception, right? Yeah.
And then, but Garp also says, like, you know, Kobe's the hero.
Like he's the future.
And you know Kobe's gonna follow in Garp's footsteps, so you know he's gonna get conquerors.
Yeah.
Or like hockey in general, like everything.
Yeah. That's true.
Right. So that's what I was like. You can take it as the lightning counts as conquerors. Just it's like when it's on a scale, it's like not that much, or maybe they're tapping into it and they don't realize that they're tapping.
It's
into
the thing is though, because
right?
in the anime, it's depicted as red lightning, right? That's how you know it's conquerors.
Yeah, but in the anime, like everything's all flashy now.
Yeah,
right. And I think that's partly why everyone's kind of like shook, because when you had Luffy in Gear 4 doing Snake Man against Kizaru, he had no lightning around him. It was just, and you can see like when Oda depicts armament, it's just on like the fists and stuff.
Yeah,
and you saw like I think it was when Zoro was fighting Lucci, like you see like a little like strand of like lightning.
Yeah, on his swords.
On his sword, and it makes sense if he's using conquerors.
Also, like there was something else there too. Like it was like fire or something. I don't know. It looked like a wispy. I don't know if that's the right word.
I think
like a wispy sort of thing on his swords. Like it
did. Yeah, like, I'm trying to remember. He did learn the foxfire thing from Kinemon though.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But like, I feel like all those instances where you do see like the lightning.
Yeah.
Those cases, like, they make sense for it to be conquerors. You know, because like you could say like, oh, this guy shouldn't have even been strong enough for him to apply conquerors. Yeah. But like, given the stakes and stuff, like you can't say that. Like, especially in Egghead. Yeah. Like, Lucci being awakened, and Lucci's character, like he could, if they say that he has conquerors, I could 100% believe it. Yeah, Lucci, because he's that type of, and he's a prodigy. Yeah. Right. Like he can learn that shit. So
and just like again, like his devil fruit and everything too, like it all adds up that he would have conquerors. Yeah. Yeah. So like I mean, but the only issue is because of like, because he bows down to the military. Yeah. And that's not very conqueror like. So
he bows down to like, celestial dragons. Though. Yeah. But he's still like he's. Like, you know how he is though. Yeah. Like he's still his own. Yeah. He's the same beast and a different animal. You know what I mean? Like you know he's different from the other Marines that just can't get it or whatever. And the other thing I was thinking about was, I definitely do think Kizaru is one of the strongest admirals. Yeah. And it makes sense to showcase him now, because you're putting him up against almost like a reality warping like Gear 5 Luffy, right? Yeah. And it makes so much sense that they can showcase how beast he is. Yeah. And then
because he can just he has free reign to
just do so much shit.
Yeah, because everyone else would get bodied.
Yeah, and Luffy can kind of they'll figure out a way to handle it.
That's true.
Because Luffy even tried. I think he tried eating his blast.
He shot it and then he started burning his eyes.
Yeah,
ate it and then he started burning his eyes.
Like he can handle these attacks hitting him essentially.
Like I don't know, started burning his eyes.
I know, but you know he's in Gear 5. He's doing goofy shit and he's like, oh shit, it hurts. Yeah. Right. And then what I was saying was we know LKG's his training with Garp was essentially
hockey training.
Not even just not hockey training, like it was offensive training, like when he was punching those hulls of the ships. Yeah. So like the way I saw it was like when you look at the three admirals, Akainu, LKG, and Kizaru.
We talked about this.
What are you talking about?
Let me take a wild guess. Let me use my observational hockey to guess what you're about to say. What's each admiral specializes in a different area. No. Offensive, defensive. No. Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
I'm saying because of so LKG's devil fruit is very defensive. Yeah. Like his ice shit he made walls Marineford, whatever. Yeah. That's why he trained with Garp to learn the offensive. Okay. So you could say that his armament hockey might be crazy. Yeah. But then he might be lacking a little bit in observational. Okay. Right? Yeah. Whereas Akainu we don't really know, like, because he has such a destructive devil fruit.
Yeah.
He probably learned observational instead, and people have been saying that like he showcased observational during Marineford.
Yeah, we talked about some
when like Marco guys and Vista cut him, and he's like, "Oh, hockey users, right?"
Yeah.
Like he probably did the shit that Katakuri did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's probably using.
I mean, that's what we're assuming, but yeah.
But that ties in, right? Like because he needs to focus on the defensive.
Right.
So then when we look at Kizaru, who's like hits his light devil fruit.
Yeah.
It makes sense if he's just a well-rounded individual.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like he could be learning. Like he's doing both observational and armament.
Yeah. Like he's in the middle, like Aki on one end, Aokiji on the other end. He's in the
middle. Right. So like we're gonna see, we're gonna see a crazy fight out of this.
Well, right? It depends if it doesn't get sidelined for his objective.
Oh, that's true.
Right, true. because Vegapunk started moving towards Bonnie.
Yeah.
So like I don't think we're gonna get a crazy fight because of that.
No, you think it's just like a tease and then like.
I think his objective is gonna take over and it's gonna turn into like a Luffy chasing Kizaru type thing, like Luffy wanting to fight him or like trying to do this stuff. It's gonna turn into a shit show. Like it's Egghead.
Because do you think that Kizaru is gonna survive past this arc?
Yeah.
Like you think he'll be there in the end game?
Yep.
Okay, because I was thinking that like maybe this is like it for him.
Oh, they kill him now?
Like maybe they don't kill him. Maybe he retires or something. Like he checks out or like anything could happen.
Mm-hmm. That's
because like he's so deeply involved with Vegapunk.
Yeah.
Like maybe even Saturn's like we can't have you, and Saturn's like no, like you're done.
No, they would kill him though. His devil fruit's too valuable for them to just let him retire. Like they would off him. You know.
Yeah. Because I mean, whatever Kizaru showcases now. Going into that final arc, if he's also in the final arc, who's gonna deal with him?
Kizaru?
Yeah,
bro.
With how fast we've been seeing him move.
Yeah.
Who the hell is dealing with this guy?
Well, I mean, Shanks, because of how much he can see into the future.
But
you know what I mean? Like you
I'm
have like
I'm not talking about these. I'm not talking about the Yonkos though. I'm talking about like when you have like 5 different admirals.
Yeah.
And you and you have the God Knights.
Yeah.
Who's like you need more people to be able to deal with Kizaru.
Yeah, I mean you still have like the rest of the One Piece pirates. Like you have like, I was gonna say Law, but you know.
No, because you have Luffy in Gear 5. Like if you think about like the top 5 like contenders or whatever, like you have Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Luffy, Shanks.
Yeah.
Like Kizaru's like top 10 for sure.
There's Weevil as well.
Man, ain't no way.
There's still no. But there's also like that, like
no. I mean, somebody that can handle Kizaru, bro.
Mihawk. I think Mihawk could take him. And you have the Cross Iron Guild, right? Like, I think like, and then you have like Crocodile as well, right? Like how I know Crocodile. I feel like Crocodile is one of the most underrated One Piece characters in terms of strength. Like I think he's way stronger.
But I don't think he's Kizaru level.
People say he is because fuck man, if I had my phone, I had read somewhere that after Crocodile had fought somebody to a stalemate.
Okay.
And it was
like a well-known guy.
Like I can't remember if it was like, I don't think it was Whitebeard.
Yeah.
But it was somebody like that. I was like, what the fuck? Like like Crocodile fought this person to a stalemate when Crocodile was like this dude who got rolled by Luffy. Obviously, like I'll beat it to like fucking plot armor. Yeah. Right. But like, he's way stronger than people give him credit.
No, of course. Yeah. We know that he got way stronger in like the showcase in Marineford.
Yeah.
He was pulling up on Whitebeard.
Like, about to fuck him up, hesitation. Pulled up on Akainu too. No hesitation. Like, you know what I mean? So, but I can't remember. I'm gonna search it up later. But when we'll put it in. Our editor will put it in right here.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, but Kizaru, like, how many people can really match up to this guy? And
what if Anel comes back?
Even then, he's not matching up to him.
Anel's observational hockey has to be unreal at this point.
You just reminded me. That was the other thing I was thinking about. Was we saw that Luffy? So we've seen a couple times now.
Yeah.
First we saw it against Kaido, and then we saw it again against Kizaru, where Luffy's using his observational.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to like fight. He's trying to fight them, and he's not able to react fast enough. So like when he was using like Future Sight against Kaido still hits him. Yeah. And he's like fuck, like he's like I can see it, but I can't move fast enough.
Yeah.
And then Kizaru like same thing, like he's fighting him, and then he's like what the hell, like where is he? And then Kizaru's over there and just murks him out, right?
Yeah.
I think this is kind of pumping it up to where in this fight we might be able to see Luffy increase his observational to the point where he will be able to react in time.
To Kizaru, because Kizaru was blitzing him.
Exactly. So like it might help him, like it might taper that up to like Shanks's level essentially.
Okay, maybe. Yeah. So moving on, because we've been talking about One Piece for a while. KAGURABACHI, the number one selling manga in the world. 1 billion copies sold. 1 billion copies sold. 0 volumes. 1 chapter.
They got a game being made.
An anime is coming out already. Like, bro,
this 1 chapter is going crazy.
People just been losing their minds over this, man.
No, I don't. Honestly, this chapter wasn't that good.
It was okay.
It was not that good.
No, it was okay. It was just like people really liked the fact that. So, just quick synopsis and spoiler if you haven't read the manga. Essentially, it's about this guy, Chichijiki. I don't know what the fuck his name is. Whatever. Main
only
character.
Read 1 chapter.
We only read one. Yeah. Basically, main character. His dad's a swordsmith, right? And his dad's like kind of like a weirdo, but he's like a very famous legendary swordsmith. And then essentially his dad's like goofy. You're like, oh damn, what
his
a
personality's kind of like Ichigo's dad if you've watched Bleach.
Yeah, I was even gonna say like Maze Hughes from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah, sure.
Same sort of personality. Like you can see like a lovable character. And then later on, like there's like a time skip in the chapter. Something clearly happens to his dad. We don't know what happens.
Dad's probably dead.
Probably, or maybe we don't know. Right? It's only first chapter. Main character gets a scar on his face, and someone was like, "Hey, like, why don't you heal that scar?" And he's like, "Nah, I wake up every day with the same hate, so because I can see the scar on my face, so I have this hate."
It's so corny, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's
but
so corny.
It's like, bro, Buddy woke up and chose to be a hater every single day. He's like, "Yeah, fuck this," like on site. You know? So people are like extrapolating like Black Air Force energy from this, you know?
I guess, sure, but like, anyways, this guy's a swordsmith.
Yeah.
He all of a sudden starts wielding a katana, and you're like, "Yo, why is he?" You don't know why he's wielding it.
Yeah.
You just know something happened to his dad.
Maybe.
You know, like some mafia crime guys moved into the city.
Doing some fuck shit.
And he's going to make sure that they get out of the city. Like, he's like, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
And then you see him, there's this thing called sorcery, I guess, that like people that the mafia is using.
Yeah.
And then he was actually able to use it on the sword.
Yeah, like his sword, because of
it's
like,
imbued with sorcery.
It's imbued with sorcery. So, and he uses like fish.
We don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's fish.
It could be anything though, but he could have more powers. Like we don't know anything about it.
I think
really.
it's because it was like the way they had said it was the last sword that his dad had worked on.
Yeah.
And at the time that his dad
like
was
his dad
sword,
loves fucking goldfish.
Yeah. So like earlier in the chapter, his dad like buys like 3 goldfish, and he uses 2 goldfish moves. Like one's a black goldfish and one's a like white goldfish.
Oh, okay. I only saw the one fish.
Yeah. So he uses 2 moves. So there's gonna be like a 3rd goldfish secret move that he's gonna do later on. Anyways. Bleach Anime.
Wait, no. let me talk about the chapter. All you did was give a synopsis of the chapter.
Yeah, I mean, you just killed people.
No, but what I'm saying is like, let me review it real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's the dialogue in the chapter.
Yeah.
To me, felt very forced.
Okay.
Like the author they weren't having natural conversations.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't read any of the conversations.
You didn't even read it, did you?
No, I read it. I was just like some of the because the conversation was so like
whatever
boring and like whatever that I was like, yo, I don't need to read any of this. I just like skipping through and then I was reading.
Bro,
like,
that's part of the whole. That's trying to understand the character.
No,
you
but
skipped it.
No, but it was just like there was just like a dumb interactions. I was like, all right,
okay.
I can skip that. I can read this instead. Skip that.
I guess
read this instead. You know.
Sure.
Like if character's like, I'm dying. I don't need to fucking read that. I'm dying. You know what I mean? Like you're dying. I see you're dying. You know.
I guess. Yeah. So they're having this conversation, and I forgot the blonde guy's name, but this blonde guy, like his whole dialogue I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because he feels like such a forced character. Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of just comes in and he's like, yo, you know your dad's sick, right? And he's like, yeah, I already know. And he's like, yeah, you know your dad's like he did all this, and he's like, yeah, how many times? Like I've already heard this before. Like
you can, it's very clear that the author did this just to
show the reader that like, oh, like yeah, his dad was like this crazy dude that did all this.
Yeah.
But like they could have had that shown in different ways.
100%.
Like they could have had it after the dad like dies or something. Yeah. He has like the blonde guy's having that conversation like, oh, why don't you like heal the scar, right?
Yeah.
He could have talked about it then. He's like, yo, like you know your dad was like this and this, and then he could have been, and then he could have been like, yeah, I know, and because like the blonde guy could have been like, I'm trying to tell you about your dad, so you don't like go off the edge doing this shit, and try to like bring him back a little bit, right? Yeah. And then and like either way, that's way better shown than what they did, because they did it at a fucking he's eating cereal at the table in front of his dad.
Yeah,
and he's just
but it's a very Attack on Titan thing.
Yeah,
to
just
spoon feed you and
feed
feed
you it.
information.
Yeah,
That's very Attack on Titan. So, I mean, we know that the main character is inspired by Zoro. So
yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's also why I got a lot of hype was because
yeah.
maybe it's all One Piece fans that just kind of hopped on it and they're like, oh yeah, this guy's based on Zoro. Let's go.
Yeah.
Anyways, second chapter is out. We'll probably talk about it next pod,
Yeah.
and then we'll figure out if the dialogue gets any better.
Yeah. All right. So Bleach Anime. This episode was fucking
Episode 11.
crazy. This is in
Zero Squad, right?
in the manga. This is where it very obviously you can see that Kubo is rushing through.
Yeah, this is where it starts.
This is where it starts.
This is where it starts.
Like you see it before,
yeah.
but this is when you're like,
no,
oh,
this
what
is
the
really where it
fuck?
starts.
Yeah,
Because before it's like,
it's
honestly
slight.
like
It's slight.
the anime like covered everything that happened in the manga, and they only maybe added like a few scenes like with the Shinji stuff, like his Bankai and whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as much like to this degree, and now we're seeing fully like fleshed out fights with each of like the Zero Squad, and it looks because in the manga they literally just they skip all of it, and you only really see Ichibe's.
Like basically,
You only really see Ichibe's
in
fight,
the
though.
manga. This is what happens, right? They pull up to the Zero Squad, like the Soul Palace, right? The girl pulls up. That all stuff happens when she kills that dude who can like move like people can't attack him, and he's like the double tongue or whatever. That all happens, right? And then they lock his royal guard and everything in the cage, and then the Zero Squad standing outside the cage.
Yeah.
Then you see Ichibe with Yuhaba.
Yeah.
And then after that, you see the entire Zero Squad defeated.
Yeah. See,
That's
what I'm saying.
it.
Like you don't see
All
anything.
Of it off screen.
It just happens so quick, and you're like,
Screen,
bro, what?
Everything. But bro, they fucking show us Otsu, the guy who created Zanpakuto's.
Oh yeah, yo, that was sick, man.
The way he was moving, just cutting through everybody, it was so fucking clean.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
Even the way he's describing his Zanpakuto, like it's not complete because it's just so sharp that he can't actually hold it in a sheath. And he has to kind of like have it displaced in water.
But I think that's gonna be his downfall. Him saying that it's not complete, because that might be a reason why he doesn't have like a Bankai or something.
Maybe, but because he's also like it feels like to me he can use any Zanpakuto he wants to whatever degree he wants.
Yeah, like to.
And part of him using that Zanpakuto, like even though he's saying it's not complete, like it's his Zanpakuto. Like that's like, for somebody who's like the creator of Zanpakuto, that one that's not complete is like that would be his Zanpakuto.
It would be great though if we could see him and his Zanpakuto merge.
What do you mean?
Like you know how like you're like
thing?
Not like that, or more like, you know how in the essence of a swordsman you're one with your sword.
Oh yeah.
And because he's the one that created
have it like that.
And so then have like his Bankai be like he merges with his sword or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, if it's a Bankai, it wouldn't be merging with a sword. It would be it'd be similar to Ichigo's, where it's like a clothing change.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
something.
Like,
that's
something
what I mean.
like
but that's what I meant. Like something like that.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But no, it was sick. And the thing, cool. But see, my issue was, and this is just like I guess writing issue, is that they're in a cage that feeds off Reishi. Bro, just chill. You don't have to get inside.
Who? What do you mean?
The Zero Squad did not have to go inside.
They were already inside though.
No, they were not.
That girl was already inside.
No, she was not.
Yeah, she's the one who's
the fat girl.
The fat girl's the one who created the cage.
Yeah, she was outside.
But the girl with the curtain is the one she was already inside the cage.
Yeah, she was.
So, but at that point, it's like, do you just let her stay in there and die, or do all you guys pull up and like fuck up? But
it guarantees victory.
Not really.
Yeah, it does, because the Reishi's gonna eventually
guarantees
run out.
stopping them there.
Yeah.
But then you still have Yuhaba to deal with.
Yo, I really like the what was him, Lilith. He's like the sniper dude with.
Oh yeah.
He's like the Quincy Royal Guard.
Yeah.
Bro, his character design. It's
cool.
Green and like white. I was like,
yeah, it's cool.
I'm like, because he's my favorite color and shit. I was like, yo, this guy's sick.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But no, it makes like perfect sense because they're all gonna have each of their fights with them, and then you see like you don't really see what he looks like, but you see like the glowing eyes, and he can just kind of like crush shit.
Things. Yeah.
That shit looks so cool. Like the way they showed like just everything snapping. Like
it looks like he has the Force.
Yeah.
Probably some Darth Vader.
Yeah,
shit,
on some crazy shit. Yeah.
We'll see who he is.
And then Yuhaba, I still don't understand how he was able to get out of there though.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Because he just threw something out and then like teleported to it.
It was probably like a technological device.
Yeah.
Not a reishi or spiritual pressure thing that allowed him to like
switch with.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Next episode's gonna be fucking crazy though.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yo, this is why Adjustment's not here.
Why?
It's because of what happened in this chapter.
Oh no, we're talking about anime first.
Oh, and it's because of what happened in the end. Both just he woke up that day and he was just sitting there sad as fuck and he's like, yeah, I can't make it. That's what happened.
The animation was fucking phenomenal.
Sick.
Phenomenal.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so we finally get Gojo. This is the Shibuya incident. Like,
yeah,
he's essentially uses his domain for like 0.02 seconds. And while that happens, you see like a flash of all the people there.
Yeah.
And what I love is that you see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
It's not really him.
No.
It's just a guy that's wearing Joker like
but yo,
paint face, you know?
You know what's great is that it's in a subway too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then because
a
lot of people don't know, but Jujutsu Kaisen is based in 2018.
Okay.
Right? So it's pre-COVID era.
Okay.
And it's based in 2018.
So
when did the Joker movie come
2019.
out? Did it?
Yeah.
Fuck. I was like, yo, I'm onto something. Actually?
Yeah, it's 2019.
Fuck. All right.
I saw that. Like I saw the guy and I was like, he just looks like he's like dressed up as Joker. But like
that was great, bro.
It looked cool.
It looked sick, man. Yeah, and then he murks out everyone, and he especially what he did to Hanami, bro. Just fucking straight.
Yo, that was the craziest thing. Like, I feel like you don't feel that effect as much in the manga.
No, you don't.
But with him,
not at all.
the way he's walking up to him, just crushing him.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And then
it was very like Aizen.
Yeah.
Very Aizen.
Yeah.
Like him with just people just like, yo,
he's just
his spiritual pressure just crushing you. Even when he gets like, bro, even when the prison realm like opens.
Yeah.
And he like looks
and
at
he's
it
trapped.
and he's like, no, but even when he gets trapped exactly the same way Aizen got trapped. But bro, man, fuck you, this guy, bro.
Who?
Like,
who's this guy?
Ghetto.
Oh.
He just fucking pulls up and he's like, yo, bro. And this guy like has a whole memory thing of like, yo, that's my boy.
Yo, that's
my best friend, bro. And he experiences like a whole like.
I kind of didn't understand that either though, cause like, why is the prison realm that 1 minute that he had to stay in front of the prison realm?
Yeah.
Like, why is that connected to like him processing a minute's worth of information in his head? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's
that kind of didn't make sense to me.
I think it's a minute because it's relative to the person you're trying to trap, right? So it's like however long a minute takes. Like, so because of how fast he processed the minute, it was faster than a normal minute, you know?
I don't know. It's
because he experienced like a year's worth of like everything with like.
It's not a year's worth of shit.
However long he was friends with Ghetto.
Okay.
Like he literally ran all that shit back through his head.
Yeah, you know I know, but like that, it just feels weird. That just feels weird to me. Like it makes sense, I guess, the way they're explaining it, sure, but like it just feels weird. And then I really like the way they're having their inner monologue of like Jogo or someone.
Yeah.
Where they're like, yo, like Gojo's not gonna activate his domain, or they're like the rule that he put on himself was that like he's okay to have people die as long as they're dying by cursed spirits or whatever. It's
because they were like comparing Yuji and
and
Gojo,
how he's different
and how Gojo's like calculating and he'll just do.
But like
do
that was just sick. Like with like the pacing of the fight and everything too.
That was great.
Because then they're like, yo, like. He doesn't want to. He's restricting himself because he won't kill humans himself.
Yeah.
So that's why he only did the 0.02 second domain, right?
Yeah.
Which is just insane. And like, obviously, like at this point, you're sitting there like, fuck, I want to see what his actual domain's like.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't even. But I
you only
think,
see it once against Jogo.
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
But like like seeing it up against somebody that can actually, that's actually fighting him on par or like close to.
I mean, I guess we'll never know.
I guess I'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then it was a really
good
episode.
And so then we see some like brain is inhabiting Geto's body.
Yeah.
So I wonder who that
and
is.
he's able to take the abilities.
Yeah.
And then Gojo even mentions like, yo, you're forgetting that Yuta about to put you in your place.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that guy ain't shit.
Yeah. I mean, these guys don't know, bro.
They don't know.
All right. Jujutsu Kaisen manga chapter 236.
Should we pour
Geije, when I find you, Geije?
Yeah, what?
Geije, when I find you, Geije, bro? KJ, when I find you, KJ, bro.
What?
Have you not been seeing this, bro? All over Twitter. It's literally just, bro, people literally just sitting there like this, just fucking having mental breakdowns. They're like, yo, KJ, when I find you, KJ.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Yo, KJ, when I find you, KJ, bro.
Yo,
you done, bro. Like,
yo, I don't know why people are hating on this chapter.
100%. Fuck the chapter.
This chapter was amazing, phenomenal,
nah,
bro.
Nah.
The whole, like, you had Gojo, like, it started off with like, last chapter, it said, like, the last thing they say is, like, yo, Gojo won.
Yeah.
And then it goes to this chapter, and he's in, like, his own headspace, and it's just, like, him and, like, his boys from, like, when he was, like, still in school type of shit.
It's not his boys, and it's not his headspace, I don't think.
I mean, like, you know, but you don't know where he, like, heaven or something. Like, you don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just so sick the way it was, because, like, was that Nanami there, too?
Yep.
And, like, you can tell that everyone's younger.
Yep.
And even, like,
even
Geto's
Gojo,
there, too.
Even Gojo's younger, too, because he has his glasses.
So everyone's there, and it's, like, it was kind of like his family.
Yeah.
Before he, I guess before
everything changed.
I guess before he owned up to being, like, Gojo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it was interesting to see how him, like, basically acknowledge the fact that Sukuna's stronger than him. And he's like, I didn't even get to make him go all out, which is wild.
Yeah.
But, like...
And you have that paralleled with when Sukuna was like, oh, like, somebody's going to show me love or some shit like that.
Yeah. Well, both
and it cuts off.
Yeah.
And it cuts off. It's not the full sentence either.
It's with both of them, though, right? Like, they were both... Before the other one was, like, resurfaced or was, like, alive... They were both, like, the pinnacle and alone. Yeah. And then when they finally met each other, they were like, yo, like, someone in my realm, like, who I can, like, fight with to, like, my full extent, right? At least that's what Gojo did.
But there's, two ways to see it. Like Gojo met his other half, like, met somebody who made him go all out, and even more than that.
Yeah.
And then, but Sukuna, like, because of the way that sentence, like, cut short.
Yeah.
It's almost like, and him also saying, like, I couldn't make him use his full power. Like Sukuna still didn't receive that love. Like, he wasn't able to actually, like, reach that, right?
No, I agree.
So, like, that, and I'm like, fuck, like, because it's like, it's so, like, bittersweet. Like, it would have been nice had they both done that for each other.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks that he wasn't, like, Sukuna's like, I'll remember you.
Yeah.
But Gojo couldn't do it, like.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting that, like, because him and Geto are having this conversation. And I remember prior to Geto's, like, death, he had said, he's like, yo, are you Gojo Satoru because you're the strongest?
Yeah.
Or are you the strongest because you're Gojo?
Yeah.
Right? And I guess he's not the strongest, so he's not Gojo.
I guess not.
But
what does that mean?
Nothing. It just...
What does that mean for him?
But, yo, like, fuck that, bro. Gojo didn't need to die.
But, no, because, yo, when you go past that heaven headspace thing, whatever he's in, yo, it makes complete sense. Like,
did you notice where they were in the headspace? Like, who else was there?
There was another. I don't know who's the guy. What's his name? So there was that other dude there. I just don't remember his name.
Haibara.
Yeah.
So there's Haibara, Nanami, Gojo, Geto.
That's it, right?
No, and then later on they show, like, other people there, and it's the girl who was supposed to be the vessel.
Oh yeah.
Who got shot?
So
she's there with her. So like,
are you saying, like, they're inside Tengen, or what?
No, let me finish. Both, like, she's there, she's dead, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know she's dead. She's there, and then next to her is, like, her friend who's also dead.
Okay.
And then in the back, looking away, like, he's like this, like, so small, is Toji.
Okay.
I think it's Toji, like, black hair, black
like,
build.
again, like, what does that mean?
And then the principal is there too. The principal.
Yeah, the principal's there.
Yeah. So I don't think it's.
But what? Those are all dead people.
Exactly. So it's like heaven. Like, they're like, and the thing is, it was like they're at an airport, so it's like they're waiting to depart.
I don't think it's heaven though, because it's because right after that you see him on the ground,
and he's still,
like, his eyes are still open, like, he's not, like, passed away. It's like your life kind of runs past you, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just everyone that was there were just people that he was probably missing. Like, these are all people that were like, with him from when he was a student there.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, that's why I was like, I can't call it heaven, really.
The only thing is, like,
you know?
why wasn't, like, okay, that's fair, because if it was heaven, Yuki should have been there too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we know she's a character who died, and she should have been there too. The thing is, like, okay, I don't think Gojo should have died.
What do you think? They're gonna steal him again?
No, it was very like, look at the way the last chapter ended. Sukuna was, like, hobbling off into, like, a hallway somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know how much curse energy he had, and Gojo had, like, just reverse curse everything, and you're telling me, like, somehow Sukuna got the drop on him? Like, where did he run off to to be able to like
Well,
regen himself and then be able to launch this attack. Right? Like, and I know we're never gonna get the answer because Gage,
also,
when I find you, Gage.
No, but also you could look at it this way, that it's not like Sukuna like was like hobbling off and came back and did it again.
Yeah.
It was that initial when they initially fought.
Yeah.
Where Gojo did that damage to him was when he also got sliced, but he didn't notice it because he thought that his infinite was gonna stop it, and that's why it looked like Gojo won. But that was like when they're delivering blows, Sukuna's hobbling off because like in his head, like he actually like he did win.
When that explosion happened with the hollow purple.
Yeah, like he hit him with his fucking
slice
at
the
thing.
Same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why that's what I'm saying. Like that's why we didn't see it. Is because it happened at the same time.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
that's very weird.
And that's why like Sukuna's like, because like Sukuna's kind of like smiling still at the end of that chapter. Like it didn't really look like
it was hard to tell because he's like so small.
Like it didn't really look like he was like defeated. It looked like, to me, it looked like he was about to do something else, like show us what he was really been holding back.
That's what it seemed like too.
Yeah.
But then
then if you like tie it together with the way this chapter ended, Gojo's on the ground, like he didn't notice that it happened, which makes complete sense, right?
I just want to say like the way he used Maharuga to adapt his cleave to cut through space,
crazy.
You heard it here first.
And then
you heard it here first.
Gojo
I had
dying.
Said
we
that.
heard that
no,
here
no.
First.
I had said that way back when Sukuna and Gojo started fighting, and Gojo turned off his infinity. Why did I say he turned off his infinity? I said because Sukuna was gonna cleave through, like cut through space, and on some Kuwabara shit. Remember I had said that?
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happened. But no, now it's like, yo, where's the story go from here? Like, it should have Gojo should have defeated Sukuna and been handicapped in the process.
I don't think so.
Right? Like then that way both of them are out of the story, and then you just have Kenjaku left. Right now it's Sukuna with like all of Hajime.
It's what I brought up last time.
What did you bring up last time?
Where
Gage, when I find you, Gage.
No, because Gojo had to be removed from the story.
But he can get removed.
That's true. In any way, but the fact that he's already sealed, it's like, what's the next step up? And when you're fighting somebody like Sukuna, you think Gojo is gonna stop fighting until he's dead? When he's fighting Sukuna and he knows that nobody can even deal with Sukuna, Gojo's gonna keep going until he can't go anymore.
He can't Gojo anymore.
But do you know what I'm saying? So like, this was kind of like the only ending for him. And then also like,
well, no, I mean, what I was saying was like, it had he defeated Sukuna and in some way got crippled, it would have effectively written him out of the story.
That's the thing,
as what Justman had said, and I feel like that would have been better.
No, but if he defeats Sukuna, dude, you have Hajime, Hakari, Maki, Yuji, Higi, and you have Yuta. All these guys are gonna fight Kenjaku. They're gonna rape him.
No, they're not, because Kenjaku's a fucking beast, bro.
Not really though.
It's like
with that many people.
When we talked about like, how like the special grade scaling is and shit, because of Kenjaku's use of Geto's abilities, he's fucking wild, bro. Yeah, like but he could take Rika, bro. He could just take Rika.
No, but like,
and fucking GG the fuck out of.
Even then, no, he can't just take Rika.
Why not?
Because Rika's no longer a cursed thing. That's literally just Yuta's ability now.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah, you can't take Rika. But what I'm saying is like, Kenjaku was still around the realm of what Yuta was doing. Like with Geto's ability, like we know that Sukuna and Gojo were above in terms of special, like way above.
Yeah.
But like, Yuki was around that same level of like of Yuta and Kenjaku, and Kenjaku like. The only reason Kenjaku survived is because he tried some shit. Essentially,
it was only because they were in Tengen's barrier.
But he also tried some shit for the first time.
I think Yuki's stronger than Yuta.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like again,
and also
the thing is, Yuta can copycat. So if Yuta has Gojo's ability already copied and he's waiting,
Gojo's.
Yeah.
The 6 eyes? You think he copied
his infinity.
You think Yuta copied infinity?
We don't know because Gojo Gojo had Yuta kind of like chilling in the case that he got sealed and shit. Yuta was gonna be the one to cover up, right?
Right.
So Yuta could for sure have one like his ability just holding it for like the one time he can use it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The only thing is, bro, like, so I had, let's say Gojo's dead now, right? Yes. What's stopping Kenjaku from taking his body and using the 6 eyes?
Because it's not gonna work it's not gonna be optimal for him.
Why not?
Because he can do it, but the reason why Geto's work so well is because of the amount of chaos he can create with the amount, like all those cursed spirits and shit.
Bro, having infinite and 6 eyes, he'd be fucking untouchable.
But no, he might be untouchable, but his goal isn't just for him to survive. His goal is overall like chaos in the world. Like, and we know that he's been.
We don't know what is it like. His goal is the Tengen,
know
like,
what
merger thing.
But
yeah.
At this point, it doesn't even matter if he switches to Gojo, because like who can really fight him now besides like we have those guys that I mentioned.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't need to switch to Gojo to like, because he can just bring out these crazy ass cursed spirits to fight these guys now. Right?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, had Gojo taken out Sukuna, then the cursed spirits that Kenjaku brought out would just fight everyone else.
Because it's still
and he also made
it's still stacked to one side, is what I'm saying. So like,
but it's not though, because a lot of these, like for example, Hakari, right? Hakari probably cannot fight Kenjaku.
Why?
Like, we don't know their bind, like how he was able to bring him back to life and everything, right?
I don't trust binds, so I think they can fight. I'm not.
But you know what I mean? Like, he could, but because we don't, like, let's say because you don't trust him,
Hakari
he could undo it.
Hakari wasn't part of the bind.
No, Hakari, Hajime. I meant to say Hajime.
Okay.
Right? Like, he could just undo it and be like, yeah, you're gone.
I don't think so.
Well, we don't trust binds. Why can't
I know, but I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think the vows are actually binding. So I don't think he can do anything.
How do you bring him back to life?
I don't know.
Okay,
man.
but you know what I mean?
Know.
So there was a theory, right? I was talking to a friend and he told me this theory about how he thinks that like, you know about Buddhism, and like we've seen a lot of Buddhist influence, especially with like Gojo and like
everything.
Essentially what he was saying was like Gojo is going to come back to life because remember when he died against Toji and he came back to life?
But that was him awakening his 6 eyes.
But still, he still came back, like he still like somehow, right?
Well,
let me finish.
Oh, actually, you're right.
Yeah. So,
because the reason why he came back there was because he was like, he didn't get hit in the head. Yeah. Like, he didn't stab him in the head. Exactly. And so technically, he could still come back.
Exactly.
That depends on whether he has enough cursed energy to do all that.
But what I'm saying is he could come back, and he could like essentially give up his cursed energy to come back to life.
And be like Toji, essentially? Like
a
heavenly restriction?
Kind of. On some like literal, like, you know how Buddha gave up all his worldly possessions? Gojo being like the pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery, being like,
and then giving it all up. But then what's his value after that? It's
just so that now like
he's alive
and he's out of the story now.
But what's the point of doing that?
You know what I mean?
That has no reason for that though. Like besides like
at least because he's alive, okay?
Yeah. Like that's
this is, you see this? This is me taking in that copium, okay?
No, but I think here's the thing though, with Sukuna now, like we know Hajime's pulling up on Sukuna, right? Now Sukuna's he's gonna have to use whatever his last resort was that Gojo couldn't make him use. On Hajime. He's gonna take Hajime out of the story.
Yeah.
And then maybe Sukuna also dies at the same time. Yeah. Maybe they take each other out.
Yeah.
But then also, even if he survives, we'll have one other person to finish off Sukuna at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? But that removes a person out of the story, because Hajime having this deadly ass technique that he could only use on Sukuna, or he was waiting to use on Sukuna. If he had unleashed that on Kenjaku would not be able to withstand that.
No, but it's because it's restricted to Sukuna.
You don't know that though. You don't know that. It might just be a one-shot curse technique that if he can never use it again.
Yeah, but he can only use it on one person. Yeah, that's true.
Right? So he could still use that on Kenjaku, and that could still fuck him up. Mm-hmm. Right? And like, I mean, like, we have Yuta, Maki, Hakari, and Yuji.
Yeah.
And we also know that they still want to somehow save Megumi's body if they can.
Yeah.
Which at this point, I don't even know if they'll be able to.
Yeah.
Now that Gojo's out of the picture, like, how are they even supposed to?
Like, maybe he comes back to life and saves his body.
Well, if Yuji does his, like, some soul-splitting shit or whatever that we were talking about.
That's why Gojo comes back to life. He comes back to life to save Megumi.
Maybe. Like, if he's just there to talk and, like, have the brains behind everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
And just be like, yo, this is what we gotta do. I don't know. Maybe.
All right, so that's the end of our pod. Hope you liked what we talked about. Like, comment, subscribe.
Gojo's not a fraud.
Gojo's not a fraud?
Yeah, he's not a fraud. For everyone's saying
no, they were saying Sukuna is a fraud. Anyways, if you liked what we talked about, if you didn't like what we talked about, comment below. Our TikTok and our audio are in the description. I don't normally do Twitter,
Instagram never.
And thank you guys for watching. Peace.